Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to plot a graph from a linear equation. Okay, so say for instance I gave you, so let me resume recording. So say for instance I was given the equation y equals negative 2x minus 4. Actually, let's do negative -3 over 2x minus 4. So from just with this equation already, since my slope is negative, I know that my graph is going to be in this direction. All right, because that's how negative graphs look, because my slope is negative. Then I could also say my y-intercept is at -4. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. I'm going to put like a -4 down here. And since I know that my graph is going to go this way, this is my y-intercept. So I know it has to go through there. So now my slope tells me that I went down 3 and over 2. It's telling me that I went down 3 and over 2. So I'm going to go down 3, 1. Let's put a -5 right here, -6, and -7. This is very crumbled up. So let's do this. I got my thingy. Okay, so we were given the equation and then they're like, oh, plot this graph. So I know that my y-intercept is -4. So I know that my line has to go through there. This right here tells me that because the slope is negative, my graph is going to face that way. All right. So now it's telling me, remember it says rise over run, my -3, that's my rise. And in this case, since it's a negative slope, it could be my fall. All right. And this too tells me run, right? So that's all I got to do. I got to look at the numbers. What's the rise? What's the run? So this is -5. This is -6. This is -7. Now let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just putting some values in. All right, so it says that the rise is -3, or in this case, since it's a negative graph, it's the fall. So I go down 3, 1, 2, 3, which gives me -7. But then my run is I go over 2. So I'm going to go over 2, 1, 2. So my point should be right there. That's the point to my next graph. Now let's look at let's get another point. It says that my rise is -3. Let's see, this is a -3, -2, and 1. Pardon how much like bunched up it is. But 1, 2, 3, and it says over 2. So my next point is about here. And let's put a different color. So my 1 point is there, 1 point is here, 1 point is here. All right. And then once I've figured out 2 or 3 points, preferably 3 points, then I'm just going to draw my line. Whoops. I'm going to draw my line through those points. And then I could say this line right here is y equals -3 over 2x minus 4. All right, and that's just you being given an equation and figuring out the graph. I'm going to do a different one that has more positives in there, which will be a little bit more, a little bit easier to understand. So let's put, the equation is y equals 2x plus 2. So I could look at this graph and tell that it's going to be, I see that it's positive, all right? So I could look at it and know that my graph is going to go, it's going to go in that direction somehow. I don't know the points yet, but it's going to go in that direction. I could also look at my graph, right? And I know that it goes through 2 because the y-intercept is 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put a point there. I could look at my slope now, and I know that my slope is rise over run. So this is over 1. 2 over 1. All right, my rise over 1. All right. So then I'm going to start at my point, my y-intercept, and I'm going to go up 2 and over 1. So 4. So this is 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1. So my point is here. And then from this point, I'm going to go up 2 again. All right. From this point, I'm going to go up 2 again. Up 2 over 1, which brings me to here. So I just keep going up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And that's how I get my points. At the end of all of it, I just put a line through. This is supposed to be a straight line. You'd use your ruler, all right? You'd use your ruler to do this. And then I could say that this line is y equals 2x plus 2. We will get a lot more practice with this stuff, okay? But this is kind of the idea when you're given an equation. You check if it's going to be positive or negative. And just from looking at the slope, it's positive. So I know that my graph is going to go in that direction. And then I find what the y-intercept is, which is here. And I put a point there. And then from that point, I'm going to go whatever the slope tells me. In this case, the slope said up 2 over 1. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. All right.